sola de tus mentiras, tú lastimaste mi corazón. Yo te creí la luz de mis días y quedé solo con mi dolor. Yo que por ti daba hasta mi vida, me fui muriendo por tu traición. Al darme cuenta que me mentías y que era de otro tu corazón. Porque eres falsa, como moneda de plástico. Te aprovechas de mí, porque fui siempre un romántico. Eres falsa, como moneda de plástico. Mentirosa, yo ya no creo en tu llanto. Con una sola de tus caricias me enamoraste. Con la primera de tus mentiras me destrozaste. Eres falsa, como moneda de plástico. Mentirosa, yo ya no creo en tu llanto. Sin importar que te di mi vida, me abandonaste sin compasión. Te fuiste a un mundo de fantasía y quedé solo con mi dolor. Pero este mundo que gira un día ha de traerte junto a mi amor. Y para entonces, querida mía, ya será de otra mi corazón. Porque eres falsa, como moneda de plástico. Te aprovechas de mí, porque fui siempre un romántico. Eres falsa, como moneda de plástico. Mentirosa, yo ya no creo en tu llanto. Con una sola de tus caricias me enamoraste. Con la primera de tus mentiras me destrozaste. Porque eres falsa, como moneda de plástico. Te aprovechas de mí, porque fui siempre un romántico. Eres falsa, como moneda de plástico. Mentirosa, yo ya no creo en tu llanto.
know you could. Yeah, times are changing everywhere. Do we dream and do we dare? It's up to you, the door is open wide. Feel the rhythm of today, learn the part and join the play. The world is here, let's take it for a ride. You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You got all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could. Larger, larger than, bigger, bigger than, living hopes and dreams. Every boy and girl, higher, higher than, brighter, brighter than, all you wanted. You know, you could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You can have all you ever wanted. Hopes and dreams, every boy. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. Every Sunday morning, the sun shines bright. Grab your favorite mug, let's take flight. With the Coffee Time podcast, we gather around, talking about Colombia, where love is found. Expats share their stories, dreams unfold. In this coffee triangle, adventures bold. Oh, coffee time, bring us together. With laughter and love, we'll face any weather. From the mountains high to the valleys wide, in this coffee hug, we find our pride. From Medellin to Cali, Cartagena's shores, exploring this country, we open new doors. Tips and tales shared, we laugh and we learn.
Good morning. Welcome back to the channel, Ryan Colombia, and welcome to another Coffee Time Live, year number 9. Okay, temperature 74 degrees, going to have a high of 77, a low of 64, and the peso exchange rate is 41.26. These are exciting times. Okay, what do we got here? Thank you, Juka. You know why. Thank you very much. Papala. Good morning from sunny Montreal. I was born 100 miles north of there. And greetings, amigo. Arriving to the farm on the 26th, hoping we can catch up while I'm there. Probably. I think so this time. Think so. Good morning from Vancouver. How you doing? Look at all these Canucks. Owen, sound is echoing? Really? Shouldn't be echoing. Shouldn't be echoing. Sounds like you're in a box. Interesting. All right, well, we'll see. We'll see what other people say. Should be fine, but I don't know. We'll see. Greetings from Finland. Juka, how you doing? Thank you very much. Turtle, howdy, Turtle. Lauren sounds a bit weird. That's number 2 person. Is it loud? Is it quiet? I'm looking here. All the settings are where they should be. default. Let me see. That does anything. No, I don't know. I don't know. We can hear you, but it sounds like you're talking from a box. Better now. Much better. That's weird because I didn't do anything. It's okay. Who knows? It's a glitch in the matrix. As long as it's good. Well, today, and I'll tell the story later because we do the news and stuff first. But the topic today is nursing homes. And it never would have occurred to me to talk about this. And I'm actually doing a video that'll come out later this week if I can recover information. But it makes sense that it's something that I talk about, particularly since I've visited a few now with the video. I think it's actually a pretty good topic that just never occurred to me before, probably never occurred to you guys, but I think it's something to talk about. I will tell you that the nursing homes here don't really have much to do with the way nursing homes are run in North America. Okay, so we're going to get to that. Let's see. This week coming, I've got 6 Rumble Premium videos that are going to go out. So anybody that signs up for Rumble Premium will be able to see those videos. They are recaps of videos that I've previously done, but it's going to be where you can actually find them, and it'll be on key topics, such as preparing to move, things like that. As I mentioned, I got that nursing home video. What happened was, I was talking about the channel and some decisions I had to make and the cost. And I had a few people say, how can it possibly cost you $400 a month to do videos? It should be practically free. And it's just not the case. I've burned through 2 laptops in the last 6 years. I have a sound card or a video card that's on its way out. That's my 3rd video card in 6 years. But I go through external storage drives every year to a year and a half. I have 6 connected to my computer, and I have to have backups on backups. Now, I did the recent clips of the nursing home, and I put them all on an external drive, preparing to do the editing. And that external drive, it won't stay working more than about a minute. And so it's not enough to even transfer this stuff. So it's things like that. Video cards that I use in the camera, those things have a relatively short lifespan if you're using them very often. It's all of those things that add up. So no, I don't make this stuff up. It's true. But the whole point of that little spiel was I'm worried about the video footage from the nursing home. I did manage this morning to recover one of the nursing homes, and I'll show you a little clip of that here later. But the other one, the one I actually thought was really cool, I don't know if I'm still working on it. All right, so that's what's coming up with the channel. And let's see, I spent 2 days with a fellow named James. Interesting story. He was actually born in Colombia. He's lived almost his entire life in the United States. Doesn't know a lot about Colombia, even though he's got relatives here. He's watched my channel, he said, for about 5 years because he plans to retire in this area. and he's here visiting, and we went to these nursing homes. The whole reason I had the idea never even would have occurred to me. The whole reason I had the idea is because he's got a mother who's 93 years old who is not in a nursing home, but it's getting to the point where they're contemplating it. But the ones in the U.S., there's issues there, particularly care, people not caring. A lot of there's probably more abuse in the form of neglect than there is in abuse, but it all exists. And so we went to check them out here to see what it's about. And we had a lunch. I'll show you a short little clip here. We came up with his cousin was with us, and I pointed out the best chorizos in Armenia, and then I said, all of Quindio. This is while we're driving. But we went by the place at Esquina del Chorizo, chorizo on the corner, and I pointed it out, and he says, no, the best in Quindio is in Pueblo Tapao, which is where we're going for one of the nursing homes, well, near it. And so we stopped and had lunch there. And I won't say it's the best. It was far better than usual. I still prefer the one that I think is the best, but I wouldn't be sad with either one. But this was a $12,000 or 12,000 peso chorizo lunch.
This is for lunch.
It's very yummy.
Yo voy a averiguar.
Tough view. That's Armenia in the background. Okay. So now, where is it now?
Here comes the latest from Quindio, with rhythm and flavor, up-to-date news. It's starting now.
Okay, first headline. Gasping for air. It gets better, and then it comes back. It gets better. This oxygen thing is tough. Okay, headline: more than 60 piles of rubble were dumped. The person responsible was fined and had to remove them. You see that pile there, they're white bags in the median. There were 60 of them, and they were actually all in this neighborhood right here. If you know Armenia, you know where that is. I go by it a lot, but it was that whole barrio. So he dumps all this stuff. Apparently he got paid by businesses to remove trash, and instead of going to the dump, he just throws it out in the street. And the neighborhood is incensed. They called the national police, and the police came and they investigated, and they figured out who it was. Probably left his contact information in one of the bags. I don't know. They figured out who it was, and they not only fined him pretty heavily, but they required that he pay for the truck to haul the stuff to the dump, and he had to, by himself, load all the stuff into the truck. I mean, it was several, 60 piles like that. It was a number of truckloads. So he had to work his tail off and pay a big fine. They're pretty serious about it. This happened once before, probably by the same guy, and they didn't catch the person. It had never happened before. And so it kind of blindsided people. It's never happened before. But the funny thing is, when you go to Cali, you see that crap all the time, and it's just the nature of it. But here in Armenia, it's their hair was on fire. They were very upset, and the guy paid a price. Okay, what's next in the news? The park favorites, such as Sucre Park, but a number of parks have recently night activities taking place. Now, by night activities, I'm talking about 1 o'clock in the morning, people, undesirables that are there drinking, maybe doing drugs. And Armenia they don't like this kind of stuff. And we've had an influx of people coming into Armenia, and I guess they got to learn the hard way. So the police, they're raiding these parks, and they're going through, and they're mostly looking for minors. And it's interesting how they handle things here. They catch people, they write them tickets, they got to pay fines. But when they get minors under 18, they call the parents, and the parents are held responsible. And the parents have to legally take responsibility. They already have a legal responsibility, but there's an additional responsibility that they're required to take with these kids. So if they're found a second time, the parents can end up in jail. So, so this has been going on just recently, and you never know when they're going to hit or where they're going to hit. And so the idea is that people here in Armenia use these parks. They congregate there, they meet people, they'll hang out, have lunch with friends. They don't want to come in and find beer bottles or whiskey bottles or drug paraphernalia, trash on the ground. Nobody wants that. It was never like that, and they don't want to hear it. So thank you for the police for addressing this. This is the kind of stuff that a lot of towns just ignore it. It's small stuff, but the small stuff grows. All right, this is a big one if you drive in Armenia. They got the green light pun for mobility in Armenia. Traffic light network modernization approved with an investment of 45 billion pesos. What they're doing, well, if you go back 6, 7, 8 years, I forget, I don't know exactly when the changes took place. It was over a course of a couple years. But for a long time, you couldn't really, there'd be no stoplights, or they would be placed where you couldn't see them. The configuration you see here was the improvement 5, 6 years ago, where you have one down low on the curb, and then you got one in a bar over the center of the road, which can be kind of hard to see, depending on your car. So what they're doing is they're going through and they're installing lights in 11 intersections that don't have them. It's going to bring it up to about 100 intersections. But it's all going to be on a computerized network, and there's going to be a control center, which will man a few people, which via cameras and the board showing the light operation and the traffic counters. It'll be automated, but they can override it so that if there's an accident and things get backed up, they can operate the lights accordingly, reroute people. It should be a big improvement. And instead of the lights just, going through their course, it'll be things like, there's no traffic there, so the lights can just stay on green until somebody comes along. Those are standard things in the United States, but it's something that doesn't really happen much here. But the entire network here in Armenia is getting redone over the next year and a half. They said 19 months, so that's pretty awesome. And what's my last one here? Oh, yeah, this one's kind of cool. For the last couple of weeks, I've been seeing headlines talking about the old railway, and there's I don't know that there's budget yet. There may be, but there's talk of and plans for reinstituting railways from Medellin to Manizales to Pereira. These railways, very similar to the United States. There are railways in the United States that were popular up through the 50s, but then automobile transportation kind of took over, and a lot of side rails and passenger rails kind of fell out of repair. And what you have now is mostly, main routes for good transports and things like that. But the railway system that once existed kind of shriveled up. Well, that happened here. They had rail systems here, but it's very expensive to keep up. And with the buses and trucks and as the highways got better, the railways just kind of fell to the wayside. Well, Quindio itself apparently wants to get in on this, and so they're making plans now to tie into the Pereira railway. So we'll have a train. It says in Armenia, Montenegro, Kimbaya, and one other town. So the railway will run through and to Pereira, so that there'll be stops for people for bird watching, some country stops and pickups, and plus tie in. It'll be pretty cool if there's a train that you can get on in Armenia and ride it to Medellin. So we'll keep an eye on that and see what the talks have gone from idle conversation to actual plans and paying engineers and architects and trying to work it into the budget. So sounds like something that's going to happen. Don't know when, but it'll be interesting to see. And in the picture, that was a tunnel for a railway, and these days it's a walkway, and you actually see these in a number of places in Quindio. Sorry, losing my voice. What's new? Olga, good morning. How you doing? I did a bit of research about nursing homes. Looks not too bad as far as I understand. I'm only going to talk a little bit about it today because that video is coming out that I have a lot of detail. But if you have questions and things like that, we can address it. I do have to, as part of the premium, I am required to do 5 ads a month. So let me take a look and see if we got anything worth doing. All right, well, let's do the Rumble Premium one. And then we'll get to the main topic. Okay, when Rumble first started in 2013, they built the platform for the small creator. They didn't censor or have biases. They were fair and treated all creators equally. No one thought platforms would censor political conversation or censor opinions on COVID, but they did. You couldn't even say the word COVID. Facebook admitted they fell to pressure from the Biden-Harris administration. Rumble did not. They held the line. They are attacked daily for giving us a voice to talk to you. They're attacked in corporate media. They're attacked by governments like France. They're attacked from brand advertisers who refuse to work with them. Corporate America is fighting to remove speech. Rumble is fighting to keep it. Rumble won't survive with brand advertisers. They don't get much of it. Watching our show on Rumble is the most they can ask from you. But if you really believe in this fight, free speech, and if you have the means, one major way you can help Rumble survive is by joining Rumble Premium. Join a community that believes in the First Amendment and believes in our human right to free speech. Rumble is offering $10 off with a promo code STUDIO when you purchase an annual subscription. Go to rumble.com/premium and use the promo code STUDIO. Like I said, if you have the means and believe in the cause, now it's time to join Rumble. Okay. That's a long one. It's a long one. The monthly is $9. All right. Got a comment here, and then we'll get to the topic. Great idea. Mexico is doing the same in Cancun. They recently built a railway from Cancun to Tulum, and public loves that. Yeah, it's definitely a way to go. It's all in economics. There was a time when it was just so much cheaper to just do the trucks and the buses, but that's changed, and now railway looks very attractive again. All right, where are we here?
Guess what's hot and happening now? Straight from the source, we show you how. Blue and bold, let's break it down. The main topic starts right now. Ow, ow.
Okay. Nursing homes. Why am I talking about nursing homes? Well, I told you what gave me the idea. And then I'm thinking as I'm driving these guys out to check these out about the channel. I'm always thinking about the channel. I'm going to do some video. And my audience is mostly, not all, of course, but mostly planning to retire or already retired. That puts my audience demographic a little more than half are in the age range of high 50s and up. I've got people from all ages that watch, but they're in the 40-some percent. The majority is 50s and up. So, why do they come here? Well, things are about a quarter of what they are in North America. It's cheap as compared to. And so depending on your retirement amount, you can live quite well here, where back there could be a struggle. But here's the thing. You get here, like me, like my friends, and it's awesome. You get a nice place to live, and you're out walking around, and you're checking things out. But then, unexpected, unannounced, you have things that happen, like to me, where I had a heart attack. Well, no, planned on that. And if you're not a sickly person, you never think about those things actually happening. That happens to other people. And so making provisions for that, learning about the medical system ahead of time, or making potential plans just in case. We don't have time for that stuff. Yeah, but you kind of figure out when it slaps you side the head. I mean, you have 30-year-old kids having strokes. I mean, you never know what might happen to you. And so if you're in this country, what do you do? What are your alternatives? What happens if you're in a situation where temporary or permanent, you can't take care of yourself very well? And what if you get hit by a bus and your legs are all banged up? And there's a million scenarios. Well, in home care, there's a lot of different things you can do and you can afford here. But nursing home is an option. Now, nursing home, well, I don't want to go with a bunch of, ancient codgers that drool on themselves. Well, in a country like Colombia, these things are looked at differently. And so we'll mention that. But I think it's important to know that these homes are not like what you see in the U.S. When you go to the U.S., they're very regimented. It's medicine time, and people line up. Think Nurse Ratched, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And people line up to get their medicine, and not always, but it's a common thing. They want to do things in group just to make their job easier. So come to us, you get your medicine at the time we decide. You have lunch at the time we decide, and you eat what we decide, and all of these things. But here's the biggest problem with most of the nursing homes in a place like the United States. Either partly or totally, they're operated by government bureaucracy. Now, it could be money through Medicare or through Social Security or however it may get there. But the allegiance of the nursing homes and the employees are to government entities generally. And you're a byproduct of that. Here in Colombia, it's very different. They're totally focused on the people that live there because there is no government entity coming in and supporting it. Excuse me. Let me show you just a short, unedited clip of one of the nursing homes.
Les voy a contar un poco de qué hacemos, de qué se trata esto, cómo lo hacemos. No somos Casacludas Margaritas. Acá está Yolanda.
He's serving margaritas.
Acá un Jorge.
One in every crowd.
Somos Casacludas Margaritas, un centro especializado en el cuidado, trato y protección.
Ahí están todos los remedios para
Sí,
individuales.
este es un... Acá es donde se hace... Tatiana, hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Acá quien viene a conocer, Tatiana es la encargada de toda la parte de la medicación y el acompañamiento. Explícale un poquito qué haces acá.
Piscina. La piscina.
Estamos explicándole acá de qué se trata la parte del acompañamiento del CARDES, toda la medicación y conocer lo que es el adulto mayor desde la parte médica. Por ejemplo, Tatiana es la persona que solo se dedica a esto. Tiene que haber una sola persona porque como es tan delicado el tema no puede haber muchos manipulando el asunto. Sí, no, claro.
Jacuzzis. Jacuzzis.
Físicas, lúdicas, recreativas, cognitivas, están con el educador físico, están en caminatas, en actividades de... No, Bere.
Pero para los laditos. A los laditos es que yo me meto.
¿Y le da frío?
¿Cómo la tratan aquí, Bere? ¿Cómo la tratan?
¿Cómo se siente acá, Bere?
Okay. Yeah, first of all, they're the two we went to. They're beautiful locations. They would be a hacienda if it weren't for being a nursing home. The first one I like the best, but this one, the people I took, they like this one best. This one's probably a little better funded. The rooms are nice. The way this is set up, and as was the other one, is the rooms basically can hold 2 or 3 people. The other one had as many as 3. This particular nursing home, all I ever saw was 2. You may have seen that. So there's 2 people in that room there's a divider. And then you had the other room that was a very large room. They have their own bathrooms, and I didn't go in and show everything because people are living there, and I didn't want to walk in and around. But those are premium rooms, and you can be there yourself, or if you have a girlfriend or a wife or whatever, you can both be there. If you have a girlfriend you want to come visit you, she can come visit even 24 hours, however you want that to be. They're very flexible on those things. It includes all your meals and snacks and drinks throughout the day. It includes social activities if you're interested in it, but these places aren't really that regimented. The first one that I liked was really laid back, and people just kind of hung out. There was a group of people that apparently like to sit and chat. There are other people who are just kind of walking around. Some hang out in their rooms. Some go out and walk around because it's, like I say, it's huge. They've got fruit trees and all kinds of stuff on these properties. This one that you just saw the video, I didn't count, but I got the impression there wasn't more than about maybe 30 people or less. And of the nurses on duty there, it was about 10. So the amount of help to people ratio is pretty strong. Plus, in this one, they have a doctor that comes in. Was every day? Was it? Every so often, a doctor will actually come in if you want to have a checkup or whatever. But you've got nurses on duty all the time. If you have to take medications, that one room in the beginning, they keep your medications in there for you if you so choose. And they have them in these plastic bins, and when it's time to take them and how much, they'll count it out and bring it to you, and they'll keep them supplied so you don't have to chase after your medicine. Like I have to go online. I mean, it's not a big deal, but I have to go online and renew my prescriptions for delivery. Well, they take care of that for you. There are people there. There weren't a lot, but there were some people that would have dementia. That lady, she was 100 years old, just had a birthday, and it was surprising because she was completely with it. You have people there that simply are alone in life, and it's easy for them at the stage that they're in to just have somebody take care of them. It's like living with mom, somebody making your meals and all of that kind of thing. They have menus ahead that you can request. You can do special requests. So the way these things are done, the focus is on you if you're there. Now, the large premium rooms, in the first place, those were 6 million pesos a month, everything included. All the nurses and doctors and food and everything. It's all included. Internet, all the utilities, everything's there. The second one, it was 6 million a month for a single room, but they had an extra large special room, like the penthouse, and those are 8 million pesos. The first one, their rooms were almost the size of the penthouse ones. So I saw it as financially a pretty good deal. So that's about $1,500 a month, everything included. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. Especially bad today. And I talked a fair amount as we're visiting these nursing homes too. So I don't know. Need a lozenge. Now, you say 3 people to a room. Well, that's too much. Well, it's actually kind of nice. You don't have to be in those rooms. But if you're poor and you only have $1 million to 2 million pesos a month on, to get by on, you can do it that way. So it's more of an accommodation. But the single rooms, pretty awesome. Let's see. What else is there about it? What can I say? The one in this video was basically one large L-shaped building. The other one, which will be as long as I can recover some data, it was a big building, another big building, another one down the road, another one down the road. Out. When I say down the road, it's on this farm land, basically. The one that I like, not this one, but the one I liked was just out of Armenia, and it was about, depending on traffic, maybe 15 minutes to the hospital. The other one is actually out between Pueblo Tapao and La Tebaida. It's really out in the country. And the biggest issue I saw there was they're not near a hospital. So you got nurses, you got doctors. And I think that's the reason their doctors actually show up all the time versus the other one that's near the hospital doesn't have to have a doctor come by as much. But they can take you to La Tebaida, but that's more of it's almost like a first aid station. It's not really a hospital. And Montenegro is not much better, and it's not very good. The good care is really in Armenia. And so that would be a bit of a hike. So if you were in that one and you had, like I did, a heart attack, that could be problematic. So I think it depends a lot on your circumstances. But I'm looking at this saying, if I got to the point where my health was so bad that I was mostly stuck in the house, this would be a pretty good option. Never even occurred to me. Now, you can also pay to have somebody come in throughout the day or even 24-hour care. But if you take your living expenses and utilities and your apartment and all of those things, you start adding that in, it can get pretty expensive for here at this level. Of course, compared to the US, it's not even a comparison. But here, that can get up there. So you would need some time to maybe change apartments and go through all of that. So I got a couple comments here. If you got questions, ask now, because if I don't get questions, I'll probably end it a little soon since my voice is cracking. Let's see. Help. Oh, yeah, Turtle. August is tax month here in Colombia. I'm looking for a tax preparer to help with my very simple form preparations. I thought you had a guy, but if you don't, I will send you mine. We do everything via WhatsApp. I've actually never met him, but he's really cheap and he's really good. He's an older guy. He's been doing it all his life. Parking if you own a car. Yes. There's parking. They, if you want to independently call a taxi, or if you have a car, get in your car, go shopping or whatever, it's no problem. You could treat it like it's an apartment and just somebody's cleaning and making the bed, scrubbing your toilet and making your meals and all of that. And then you just, you come back and there's no restrictions like that, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it is tax season. My accountant got a hold of me Friday night, about 7:00. He sent me a WhatsApp, said, it's tax season. I already got your information from the Dion, and it looks like you had transferred some money. And I did, but it was when he works it out, it'll be a wash. I just moved some stuff around. And he says, I'm going to need that. And I'm going to need your Social Security summary. And that's it. And he takes care of everything. He files it. He bills me. I think the last time he billed me 200,000 pesos, maybe. It wasn't very much, $50. But he handled it all, didn't owe any taxes. It doesn't get any simpler. And whoops. How do these homes compare to senior center housing? All right. Well, that's another thing. There's a chain actually throughout Colombia. There's one in Pereira. There's one here in Armenia. It's actually in LA Den out by the airport. And these are your normal style apartment buildings, but they have special features like the one in Pereira has an actual movie theater as part of it. They'll have restaurants and snack bars and things like that. They'll have 24-hour a health room with a nurse on duty. For those, you have to be 50 years. The main person for those apartments have to be 50 years old or older. Now, the 50-year-old could have an 18-year-old girlfriend or 18-year-old wife. It doesn't, and with kids, it's no problem. They can be there, but it has to be 50. The criteria is 50 years old or older for the main person. Now, these apartments, there'll be some houses you can buy, you can rent. You can buy the apartments if there's any available. You can rent. And the one here in LA Den, its main feature, they have pools and weight rooms and jacuzzis and all that. But the main feature has its own mall. It's got supermarket there. It's got a dentist there. It's got a hair salon. It's got a whole bunch of things, and its own. It's called Seniors Mall. And that's the name on the sign. Those run typically, if you find a place to rent, 2 to 3 million pesos somewhere. When I did a video on it a year or so ago, it was that. It could be a little more. So that's an option too, where if you just need somebody to keep an eye on you, but you don't want to be fully immersed in home care, a place like that it works too with 24-hour health people on duty. If you need any special care, you just kind of let them know, hey, watch out for me because of X, Y. That's what these things are for. That's why they're there. So as I was visiting those home for the elderly, we'll say, I was remembering that video that I did with the senior care, and I actually was telling the guys about that one. I was thinking that if you have need for those things, Colombia, what a great place if you're in a situation or you know somebody in that situation to get real care, because the people here have a very different mentality. They're not coming in, punching a time card, mumbling because they don't get paid enough, and you're doing everything on their time and their schedule. It's not like that. Here, they go out of their way to take care of you because the culture's like that. People care and they love their job, and you can tell they love their job. And it was pretty amazing to walk through. Now, the second one, the guy who was taking us around, he was a slick Willie. He was a salesman, and he just talked endlessly. And his language and demeanor were just impeccable. He dressed perfect, but he was just a salesman. But all the nurses there were awesome. We were joking around a little with some of them and things like that. And the first one, they were all like that just to begin. There was no sales person at all. There was somebody that met up with us, and then she grabbed another nurse, and they're walking us around and showing us how things are. Nothing was hidden. Everything was there to see. It's appalling how America treats its elderly sometimes. It's what I'm talking about. I saw some nursing homes when I was in the U.S., and they were all the same. They smell funny. They're regimented. Even when it seems like they're being very nice or it's a nice place, it's very regimented. I did my time in the military. I don't need to be told what to do and how to do it and when to do it. And part of the reason it's done like that in the U.S. is nursing homes tend to be crowded. They tend to have a lot of people in them. These don't. Like I say, the big one had maybe 30 people. That was the big one of the two that we saw. The other one, there was a row of houses far apart, like a 5-minute walk to the next one. But there's maybe 7, 8 people in each one. I mean, maybe more. I didn't really see more. There was a lot of open space in these places. They don't crowd people in them. So, and they have the nice general areas. They both had this. There was a big shaded patio with chairs where people kind of hung out. There's a big area for a dining room, looked more like a restaurant. Huge kitchen. Envious of, in both cases, the kitchens were beautiful. They had great equipment. The refrigerators, the freezers, everything was it just looked pristine. It was beautiful. And very large. Swimming pool, jacuzzis. You saw that one pool had 2 jacuzzis. So the amenities are there. Plus, if you need to go for a walk, though, and you want somebody to go walk with you, one of the nurses will, you can just say, hey, come with me. Let's go for a walk. They're there to help you. Now, what's surprising, the first one, they do everything on the first floor. They don't use the second floor. And the second one, they use the second floor. They have an elevator for wheelchair only. The stairs, they keep blocked off. And this kind of bothered me. If you want to go up or down the stairs, and people live on the second floor, you have to get a nurse, which isn't hard because there's so many of them, but you have to get a nurse to accompany you up or down the stairs. And that kind of bugged me. That was one of the things, like, I wouldn't want to be here. What if I just want to climb the stairs? Well, we don't want anybody to fall. Well, I get that, but so what? If I can climb the stairs, I don't need somebody to hold my hand. And the first one, instead of handling it that way, they just don't use second floors. And I appreciated that. It was like any way you can just, maintain your identity and your independence, and we don't intrude on that. I thought they did a better job of that in the second one or the first one than in the second one. The one that is in Armenia, selling the second phase of apartments right now. Oh, the one out by the airport, the senior place, not the nursing home. Yeah, it could be. It was when I talked about it in the past. It was under expansion at the time. They've got a lot of houses as part of that. So you've got the apartment building, condos in the front, then you got them on the side, but then there's a long driveway, and then you've got a lot of houses behind that. All right, so that's the state of affairs here for nursing home and senior living. And it's pretty awesome, and it gives you a lot of affordable options for not everyone, but for most average retirement. I wouldn't have much left over unless the exchange rate really tipped in my favor, but I could afford to live in one of those places and still have a few 100,000 pesos left over. You can, like I say, you can keep your car, you can park your car. They have parking spots. And like I say, no restrictions. The first one, those potential visitor restrictions that I think it didn't have to be, it depends on who it is. The second one, they just said, we don't care. 24 hours, that people can come whenever, stay overnight with you, however you want to do it. All right, well, that's all I have for now, because I'm going to be covering this in depth on a separate video. Do we have any questions about that or anything else? Surprise, we've almost run the hour. I actually didn't expect that. Okay. All right, well, the last thing I have is you all know that I'm a Buffalo Bills football fan, have been forever. And, my favorite saying is there's always next year. Well, next year is here yet again. But today marks a special day for any Buffalo Bills fan, and I'm going to end this video with a little clip. Let me turn off that, and let's check out this clip.
Where else in the world would you rather be than right here, right now? And it's the way we felt every time we've gone on the fields.
Great day for football! Happy 100th birthday to legendary coach Marv Levy.
Without you, the Bills organization would not be what it is today.
We're all thinking of you, wanted to wish you a happy birthday. Can't tell you how much you mean to me and the way that you've embraced me, embraced my family, been so willing to share your wisdom of how to be successful in Buffalo. So we love you, and here's a big hug from all of us here at training camp.
As the saying goes, where else would you rather be than right here, right now?
Where else would you rather be than right here, right now? That's for you, Marv.
No place else you'd rather be than right here, right now. When it's too tough for them, it's just right. To the greatest fans in football, I like to say to you, before the game, what I said to our players before every game. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now?
Awesome. I'll see you guys next week. Take it easy. Oh, and where would I rather be than right here, right now? Nowhere else.
Wow.